Not good enough, for sure. I mean, yes, we all know we're playing against the number one team in the world. 4 quality bowlers in the top 10. But the display, we've just not shown when it is tough to find a way to absorb pressure. You look at on the other side, we've had the top order, under 100 for 4 wickets down, for probably in all three or four innings we played, but they find a way, or maybe our bowlers are not disciplined enough, but they found a way, and that's what the top teams do. We try to get to that position. It's a new set of guys trying to find that identity, that brand, build confidence. But yeah, over the last 2-4 innings, last 2 4th innings of test matches, we've been really poor.
And so, but as coach, like how do you address that? Like, do you just give them a piece of your mind, or you just stay patient?
A little bit of both. Obviously, we got to. The analyst was saying to me, we will not. The next few test matches we play, we will not have that quality of bowling to be constantly challenging us, where you got top 4 guys in the top 10. But we need to. Obviously, the pitch was a little bit difficult, but it was difficult for both teams. So it's a little bit of mindset. The glimpse where we looked like we could compete was when we had the intent to score, balance it off with proper technique. If you look at the pitch, it was more challenging on the stumps. So you needed to have a proper technique. Look at Steve Smith, how he played, very leg side-ish, but when you look at his wagon wheel, when the ball was on the stumps, he respected it. We had a lot of bowl downs and LBWs by being probably aggressive on the good length, and these guys were relentless on that length. So a little bit of mindset, a little bit of technical work has to be done, but I do understand the journey that I took on, and it was, Rome is not going to be built in a day. So a little bit of patience, a little bit of reality as to where we're at. Is it something that we are aware of? And then continue to put in the work.
Do you give this same top order another go in Jamaica? You've got a couple of options in the squad. Do you say one more time?
We do have a couple more options. Obviously, both sides, it's been really challenging for the top order. More challenging for us because they find a way in the middle order to score runs and get that 250 plus in the first innings. We've not found that. Our lower order, 8, 9, 10 has been really good, and we've seen glimpses of what we could do as a team. So definitely we'll have a look at that. See, the guys that are in the squad, and how fair it is to move on as quickly as 3 test matches.
You touched on it in your previous early answer, but both tests for 2 days you've been almost level pegging, if not level with the number 1 team. There probably isn't a magic solution, but what do you do to extend that over 3 and 4 days?
When you break down the game, in both test matches, that second innings when we bowled, that session after lunch, really changed the game. Barbados, we had them, I think, 4 down, then Kerry and I think Webster and Travis Head stuck us in. But for some reason, after lunch, that session, whether we bat or ball, we've been really poor. You look at, if you put our bowling between yesterday's last 12 overs and this morning's, how many we bowled. This is the level of consistency we look at, and that's right now our bowling we can't fall in. They've gotten what, 40 wickets, I think. I don't know when last we got 40 wickets against a top 3 team, in 2 test matches. So the bowlers are doing the job. Yet, yes, there could be more improvement in being more disciplined, but we can't fault them. They're doing their jobs. It's just that our batting has not been up to par against a really good attack.
Is Craig safe for the next test?
What's that?
Is Craig Brathwaite safe for the next test? Or would you consider dropping him?
All options on the team. Obviously, Craig just played his 100th test match. He hasn't looked good this season, this series. And in a team where you're searching for performances, you get very close to say, okay, do we give somebody else a chance? But we will really have a good discussion, myself, the selection group, and the captain himself, about that particular situation.
And more broadly, just the batting situation in the team. Is there a deeper cultural issue with US Indies cricket? You just can't produce players that can bat for a long period of time. Is it the T20 effect? You just can't do that. What's the issue there?
Yeah, well, look, it's hard to produce the quality of batsmen that we want to compete when, look at the surfaces that we play on. It's hard. So, for instance, if you look at all the averages, we barely have guys averaging 40 plus in regional cricket. So you are already on behind the 8 ball. Those type of pitches, it doesn't allow you to come up technically sound because you're really unsure. There's always doubt. And in an ideal world, you want to see our guys perform because, not in spite of. And yeah, it's something myself, the director of cricket, the franchise system, we've looked at very, very closely in trying to change that. Trying to send the head groundsman all over, trying to get the sort of wickets that allow batsmen to trust their techniques and stuff like that. And we also have some probably technical deficiencies that carry on from the under 19, the youth level, up to the national team. So all these things, a lot of things we mentioned, but in spite of all of that, we still find ourselves in positions to win and compete, and that's where you will need more of the mental toughness of the game, to restrict you from getting too ahead of your stroke play, and show a little bit more fight, and understand that we are playing against the number 1 team, and be a little tighter, and when opportunities present to score, then we do that.
Are you certain that there's going to be a big ball test in Jamaica, that the lights will be functional, and there's a bit of doubt about that?
As far as I know, yes. I've been told that there will be a pink ball test in Jamaica, historical event. So I'm expecting when we get to Jamaica, we get our pink balls and we start training. I'm not sure. Maybe I've not had my phone all day, so you probably hear more than me in the media. But as far as I am aware, we're gonna have a day-night test in Jamaica.
Dan, just 2 test matches in. Enjoy it? Or
Yeah.
You're on camera all the time.
I enjoyed my job. I understand the mission, of what the director, what we're trying to do. I've been always blocking out the noise on the outside. I trust in my ability. I trust in my staff, and we're trying to create and build a culture in the team that could transfer performances out there. I did check the schedule, and I saw I had Australia, India, and New Zealand, and I was like, wow, these are 3 hard baptism, you know. But yeah, it's one I've enjoyed it. You know, just the way the guys have bought into what we're trying to do. Yes, the results have not shown, but some of the attitudes that are changing and understanding what we're trying to do, it gives me hope.
Roston mentioned that you'd like to play some calypso cricket. Now, obviously in this situation where the pitch is not helpful to the batters, how hard is it for the players to get the balance right?
That's what he said? Call it calypso. Oh. Yeah, it's like I think I've said it before. You know, scoring the least amount of runs and still facing the least amount of overs over the last 2 Test championships as a batting group, it puts us behind. You know, if you batting only 60 overs or 50 overs and your opposition is batting 80 overs against you and they're scoring at 3.5, close to 4, you're always behind 150 in the first inning. So we have to strike a balance whilst we understand where we are. We need to find a balance where we need to score quicker and even bat longer. And that will come over time, building confidence, fixing techniques and stuff like that. And poor Floyd, he's been working really hard with the guys. And it's hopefully all the stuff we see, and I watch Floyd work with them and see them put into training, hopefully they'll have the confidence to execute it out there in the middle.